How do I communicate and maintain a good relationship with parents who are toxic? They love me but do not communicate or respect me or my decisions and instead insist on their way all the time without giving a single thought to my opinion. I have a question for you, brother and sister. I have a question for you. If your parents were right here, right now, and I were to ask them their analysis of the situation, do you think they would analyze it the way that you have? And I ask this because I want you to start going back to something I said many, many weeks ago. I know many of you are new, but those of you that are attending from the beginning, I said this many weeks ago, I think 2 months ago when we started. Ultimate truth is typically attained by allowing competing narratives of truth to engage in conversations with one another. I repeat, I want you to understand this point. Ultimate truth, if you can ever attain it, which is a big if, ultimate truth is typically attained by allowing competing narratives of truth to engage with one another. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you are adamant about looking at the world through your lens, that is one version of the truth. Your parents have another version of the truth. The best way to find a common ground and compromise, start looking at the world through their lens. Understand why they feel the way that they do. And then ask yourself, if you had their background, their knowledge, their paradigm, their epistemology, their upbringing, what could you do to better the situation you're in? And approach them with that. Number one, okay? Number two, there's no other way to say this. There's always going to be an awkward phase of your life where intellectually you feel like you're an adult, and maybe even you are to a certain extent, but financially and logistically you are not an adult. Most of you might be in that situation right now. You're living with your parents. You need to use their credit card for insurance and the bills, okay? If that is the case, then there is no easy way to overcome this phase unless and until you are fully independent. And that time will come, sisters and brothers. It's only a matter of time. How long are you going to be in this particular phase? I know it seems like forever. Been there, done that, right? It's only a matter of time before you break away and you become fully independent, and your parents might not like what you do, but they cannot enforce it on you. And you have the right to then rethink through and negotiate that relationship. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But let me tell you, when you get there, you will miss, believe it or not, being in the phase that you were in. Because with that light at the end of the tunnel also comes a whole host of problems and responsibilities that you currently don't have. So don't look forward to it without a sense of trepidation as well, okay? When you get to that end, there will be a nostalgia of how it used to be. And anybody who's older than 25, 35 knows this, okay? So don't be that eager. There's only going to be one time in your life, only one time, where you are still in your parents', you consider it a cage, I consider it a home, okay? Once that bird is let out, once you become free, you will never come back to your parents' house the same. You will come back as a visitor. And you're going to miss a lot of that connection and that nostalgia and whatnot. And then life is going to get even more tough after that. So all I'm saying, it is a phase. You have to negotiate it. There's no easy way to do so. And again, go back to what I said 20 minutes ago. Don't ask a sheikh, how should I treat my mother and father to do this? You have to use your common sense here. The goal is you don't disrespect them. You're never allowed to disrespect. You are allowed to negotiate. You are allowed to try your best to persuade them. You're allowed to, try to find a middle ground. You can never be disrespectful. And in the end of the day, you are not obliged to listen to your parents about the minutiae of your life that does not affect them. Okay? You're not obliged to fiqh-wise. But meaning, for example, your career. Okay? Your mom wants you to be a doctor. And you're like, I don't want to be a doctor. Are you obliged to listen to your mother? It's your life. Even the Sharia says you don't have, it's your life. How can she dictate the rest of your life for you, right? She cannot force you wujuban, as wajib. But then whatever I say, you still have to deal with the emotional reality of breaking your mother's heart, right? That's a different topic altogether. Same goes for all the rules and the restrictions that parents place on you. If it's reasonable, then you have to obey them, okay? Sisters, if your father says, come home at this particular time, that's a reasonable condition. Sorry, but it is. It's a reasonable condition. He's worried about your safety, right? That's a reasonable condition. But if they ask you to do something that is not of benefit to them, like I said, a career choice or whatever, or forcing you to marry, no way, no way. Nobody can force you to get married. That's your life here at the end of the day, right? So you don't have to listen to them. But the reality still of the emotional, attachment they have or the trauma that they have, nobody can help you in this. That's a part of life, and we all navigate. We all live through our dramas. Brothers and sisters, everybody has drama. It's not just soap operas. And you think your life is more difficult? All of our lives are difficult. Every one of us. We all have our internal traumas. We all have our battles we face. We all have our family issues. Every single person on earth. Don't ever think that only my life is bad. And frankly, after what's happening in Gaza, all of our problems are first world. All of our problems are first world problems. Thank Allah we don't have those problems. So put things in perspective.